Hey, it's me Rishikesh Kannan, popularly known as Rishi K. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business and current affairs.
Personal data is like a big plot of real estate with all your underwear on it. It's like,
Well said.
it's literally like that. But it's inevitable. We have as a society moved towards that. There are things that will destabilize power centers, so to speak, that control our data and how is our data being used. You also see a lot of awareness of people saying, do you know when you get your new phone or a new app and you agree, do you know what you're agreeing to? None of us were thinking about this. So people just think, oh, if I get hacked, but you're not. Everything you do, everything you choose, you mention something and Facebook gives you an ad for it. So we're already in it. So it's like we're knee deep in the poop and we're trying to say, let me get clean. It isn't. We're in it. We need to wade through this as sensibly with this kind of friend and opponent of technology.
Hey guys, great to see you. Shruti, how you doing, my dear? Looking lovely as always. First class. Nag Ashwin, wonderful to see you.
Good to see you.
A big fan of your work. I mean, I've seen Mahanati.
Thank you so much.
And now I've gone ahead and seen this one. Just fabulous. And Sanjeet, how you doing,
I'm
buddy?
good. I'm awesome.
Yeah, so I want to start, Nag, by just the fact that you wrote this thing so dystopian. It really is representative of what we're slowly heading towards, isn't it? I mean, just our obsession with technology. Does that disturb you? Disturb you enough to say, I'm going to go off technology and mobile phones for a period of time?
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
Shruti does that now and
We
then.
try.
But as far as you're concerned,
No, I definitely try every once in a while, and then it's amazing that it's so strong, the pull to get back to it. Like I'll find some excuse. I'll say research. I'll say it's something related to work. So oh wait, I have to update somebody about this. But it's then I think that's the core of this whole thing. You think you are in control, but it's actually controlling you.
so this must have been a magnet for you at two levels. One, obviously, because it talks about technology taking over our lives. Second, because all these stories are so women centric. So did he have you at women and technology?
No, so the first thing I want to say is that this constant thing of women-centric in quotes,
Yeah.
women-oriented, like I'm severely allergic to it at this point, because I think when we start to stabilize the point of artistry at a level of saying these are human stories, and from a woman's point of view, I expect the same level of compassion from the screenwriter and the director that you give your male actor, the humanity with which you approach their character. So that's why the woman-centric point of view really comes in for me. For me, I've always, I was always excited to work with good directors, but also someone like Nagi stands apart. It's because he has a very emotional approach to filmmaking. Not in a whingy way, but like in this really gritty, rooted way of being okay with emotion. But then meeting him was like really interesting because he's like the opposite of his movies and like the drama of it, and he's just like this chill person who you think lives like in a tree shack or something, So I loved the polarity and I loved how easy it was to discuss and how collaborative he is with his actors. And it wasn't about just, oh, I get to play this woman, oh, finally I get to show my colors as a woman. It was really the concept of technology that really got me, because we're all slave to it, whether, like he said, whether we admit it or not. And it's also about how much we do need it, but with what balance.
Sanjeet, I was just so pleasantly surprised. It's unbelievable that this is your first film. But did it help that the character also has some nervous energy? The first time around.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't have to
The first time around, you're always nervous. Yeah. And if the character is got nervous energy, it just helps everybody, doesn't it?
for sure.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, I don't know. This is my first interview too, so I don't know what to say this. So I told Sanjit if he ever doesn't have an answer, start singing. Because he's also the music director of the film.
He is the music interact
Correct.
with the
Me and
Yeah,
Surya.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that segues into my next question. So maybe I'll get more than a for sure. I mean, you get the sense of the music mostly in the background because there's never really a standout kind of entire song in that aspect. But I find a very pop rock kind of vibe. So just a little bit about your music and what you've done for this particular film.
Yeah, I mean, I've just like I tried. So I don't know. This is the first time I'm scoring a movie too. So Nag was like, send me a bunch of themes, and I was trying to write a few themes. I sent him like 4 or 5 in 1 week, and he was just like, not happening. So I kind of like, and I think this is one point where I was like, screw this, I cannot score. And I was up the entire night, going through my shit. And I wake up at 5, pick up my guitar, and I just wrote this. And that's it. There was no pop rock, or there was no, I need to do this or that or that. It was like, the character does know what falling in love is, and he meets this, fascinating character. I guess that's what it just came naturally. I wasn't going for anything.
So nervous energy and fascinating character in any case was on set. Shruti Haasan being a fascinating character. So all the aids and the cues were there for you to do a good job.
Yeah.
No, but good job, bro. So Nag, did he come through a casting agent? Did you meet him before? Everybody's going to ask him why.
Yeah,
I discovered him in a shopping mall, like one of those models from the 80s.
not even a shopping mall, like Filmfare backstage when he's waiting to get his picture taken.
Yeah. I literally walked around like, bro, I like Mahanadi, he was cool. That's it. That's what I said.
But then a million people say that to you.
Right,
like
no, but
Mahanadi, it's cool.
I to be honest, I love casting. I worked, when I was an AD, I spent like 2 years literally casting, and that's the most I learned by being an AD. So when I saw him, I definitely saw there's a very special energy there, but it's only going to be useful for very special characters. So when I wrote this, I thought this would be ideal fit for.
Shruti, in terms of the fact that she infiltrates into this particular system, and then eventually, I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, the story takes a different kind of turn. Did you have to approach the two sides in a very different manner? Because in essence, you see her transform from one to the other. So, I mean, in filming, do you shoot in chronological order, or did you guys do like one scene here, there, and then mix and match
we
it?
didn't shoot linear, thanks to our director.
Wow, that's even more difficult.
In fact,
so talk to me about
so let
approaching
me
that.
start this answer by the first day of shoot, which was
After
me-
like 6 months of
after
lockdown.
6 months in lockdown. Till then, I'd only done a small cameo in my cousin Suhasini Akka's movie, which was all in the same confines of a studio. So the first day of shoot was like, yeah, it'll be chill, we'll warm up, we'll get into it, but it wasn't. It was me on the roof with a giant fan, fake rain, standing on a ledge. So that's how he like introduced me into it. But I would say that from the beginning, I think Nagi was very particular about, the difference. I don't think he was worried about the second half, where she's a
the
crazy,
first
angry
one,
lady. He's like, that's you every day. But like the first half, I think we were particularly discussing it a lot. He really liked my film 3.
Yeah, my favorite film of Shruti's, I mean, was 3 for sure, like especially the flashback. I mean, a lot of fans for that part of the thing.
Janani.
For Janani, and
I think we did take a bit of Janani here.
yeah, because that
without
innocence
realizing
and
it. Yeah.
yeah, and when I didn't expect. I didn't realize like how to play like something so different, because to be fair, like Shruti is a very strong character when you come on screen, except for Janani. Most of her other roles, she is pretty strong. So if I didn't see Janani, I wouldn't be sure if she could have played this also, maybe.
Yeah. And I think we kept discussing finding that, and also it's not Janani, right?
Right, it's not.
So it's
very different
a woman
space.
in another space, but she's still that woman who needs help, basically. So we did discuss that a lot. It was very fun and exciting to part that out.
So, Sanjit, have you collaborated with Shruti Haasan, the musician, or have you talked about it? If you haven't done that as yet,
We've talked about it.
We have Boca chance,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Oh, I think the first conversation we had
Was about
yeah,
music.
was about music. That's why we just like, dude, music.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah. I was,
yeah, with
we're
musicians,
friends like
that's the
straight
best way
off.
to break the ice. You
Yeah,
know, just
yeah.
you know, you
We
do
were
that.
talking about the music
Yeah.
we like, which turned out to be completely different.
Yeah. And she sent me a few beautiful playlists,
Yeah.
helping me out with the score as well.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
nice. It was so great. This is the first musician I've acted with. Yeah.
And did you have like a kind of I got to take care of this guy? You know,
I
that
did,
kind of
you know
a
what,
power
I-
kind
Oh,
of feeling?
totally.
Yeah,
I mean, we should totally. I mean, Sanjit should totally give it up because, like, more than me, like keeping him comfortable
Yeah.
and taking him through the ropes, I think Shruti
Shruti.
took over and.
Yeah, like every time she was on this set, I felt like I was like 10 times better as an actor. So yeah, and like I was asking her, dude, is this okay? Is this, yeah.
No, it was lovely energy for me. I mean, it was completely opposite to my character, so it didn't really help me. Because in the character, I'm like, oh, can you save me? And I hear he's like, why do they put those things under the track to stabilize it? But it was a beautiful energy. Like, I think I'm protective by nature, but I think I was like extra protective of Sanjay because it was just. I know how it is. I remember my first few films, and I remember some of the a-holes I encountered, and I never want to be that to anybody.
You've really put it into perspective.
Yeah.
So Nag, how much time on special effects? Because it is special effects heavy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how much time on actual shooting? Just
The
a
shooting
breakup.
wasn't long. I mean, 5 days, and then we did 1 day of like some pickup stuff. But the VFX, because also it wasn't a. It was way more ambitious of an idea than. So we couldn't have like 3 VFX studios, or we couldn't have a big budget. So it was a small team. So they worked on like almost 300 shots for a 30-minute film. So they did that over like 2.5 months, and so we just had to keep getting it right and going with that 23-member team. And I think finally it sort of worked out.
And do you take to the format very easily, Nag? I mean, everybody tells me it's a really difficult, tight format. the
Meaning
short story
anthology,
format.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about just keeping it down to whatever 28,
30 minutes, yeah.
You know.
I mean, I haven't done something at this duration before, so it was definitely hard to re-understand where your points are when you're editing, especially. But I feel this particular story of ours could easily have been a feature. Like, easily have been a 2-hour feature, like, you know, with showing the outside world more, with bringing in more drama, like more arcs for every. It's a much richer story which I tried to cram into 30 minutes.
Yeah, and Shruti, I want you to add to that because it did leave me aching or wanting for more. And in that aspect, it's actually a good thing because that's what short stories are supposed to do, isn't it?
Yes.
Instead of
I
giving
think
you the
that's
whole
what
picture.
human beings should be doing with other people also, not like enough of you already. It's a good thing to aim for and generally leave them wanting more. Yeah, but I really love what Nagi said about the fact that it can be expanded so fluidly and naturally because it's got those layers and textures. Makes it a good mouthful, you know, when you watch it as a short film.
Yeah. Sanjit, is there one particular scene that you really freaked out on, which you couldn't wrap your head around? And then you had, help is
I know
always
which
at hand.
one it is.
Which one? I don't know.
Help is always at hand with Shruti around,
I
but
think,
I'm just saying.
it was a lot of mouthwash. That was the thing.
That was his first scene as well.
Yeah, that was
his
my first scene.
Was,
Your first scene was the kiss.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And
That's
I
like
asked-
that's like throwing him to the lions.
Yeah. The lion.
Deep end, everyone.
The lion's mouth in this case.
I
Bang
didn't
in the
mean
middle
that,
of.
but I'm just saying.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
I felt so it was really. I was like, "Are you comfortable?" I was like, "I need to take care of him." And I was like, "Do you want me to use mouthwash?" And he said, "Huh? Are you saying that because I need to use mouthwash?" And I was like, "No, I'm asking you if I need to use the." He's like, "I know you're trying to tell me." And he's telling me, "I used so much mouthwash, I couldn't even feel the kiss."
How sweet.
That's a headline.
And Sanjeet, people talk about how it is about actors and actresses kissing, and oh my God, does it lead to anything? It must have been such a pleasant surprise that it's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's quite run of the mill. Was that an eye opener for you, or did you already know that or feel that?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it was.
It was what?
It was
Your
fun.
epic answer
It was
is
just fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, very honestly, I was just going, like, I wasn't consciously aware of that entire 5 days. I was just looking at Nag, looking at Shruti. I'm like, okay, I'll start, and I just did what I had to do. That's it.
Actually, that's a.
I think
That's
I
the
think
best way.
I think
That's
by
a
day
approach.
5 he started
Yeah.
he started thinking of it like a film, and then we're like, okay, wrap that.
Yeah.
Shruti, let's talk a little bit about this whole dystopian thing about technology taking over. I mean, the fact that data can be used and is being used is so dangerous, isn't it? I mean, I want to emphasize on that point, and who better than you to talk about that?
I think like in the trailer as well, you see that people are nothing but their data points. And today we realize like data is the new real estate. It's the new currency of communication and power, and asserting authority, and data. Analyzing it as well as removing communication from people. We see that in the current situation. And I also say like personal data is like a big plot of real estate with all your underwear on it. It's like,
Well said.
it's literally like that. But it's inevitable. We have as a society moved towards that. There are things that will destabilize power centers, so to speak, that control our data and how is our data being used. You also see a lot of awareness of people saying, do you know when you get your new phone or a new app and you agree, do you know what you're agreeing to? None of us were thinking about this. So people just think, oh, if I get hacked, but you're not. Everything you do, everything you choose, you mention something and Facebook gives you an ad for it. So we're already in it. So it's like we're knee deep in the poop and we're trying to say, let me get clean. It isn't. We're in it. We need to wade through this as sensibly with this kind of friend and opponent of technology.
Super. So well put. Was X Life always Nag the title for it, or did you play with a few titles?
I think it was X Life. Yeah, I think it was pretty much that. I didn't have another title.
And is it just like a throwaway thing that came out of some kind of video game or animation, or does it have a deeper impact which represents the film?
The idea is definitely two things. One is obviously the data and our privacy and who really holds the power. Because people will talk about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, but I think there's powers behind him, and there's a bigger meaning to this whole thing, and the reason for all this data mining. So that was one idea, and the other idea was I really like the idea of virtual reality, like when you put something on and you can be wherever, you can be on a beach, on a boat, in the mountains, but you're actually in your own bedroom. So is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? It's always something I was curious about, because even I think movies as such are going to go that way. Like no longer, it's barely 10 years away where you're not going to sit in front of your TV and watch a film. You're going to put on a VR thing and you'll be in the film.
We won't even shoot it the same way.
They won't even shoot it the same way. So like, when there's a chase, you're going to be a part of the chase. You're going to see people running around you. And I'm saying this, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's just good to see now, I guess.
If I may just add, I think to your question and what Nagi said, the most important thing about this film, the string that was really appealing to me is whether you see technology in the form of like social networking or dating apps or whatever, apart from like the bigwigs of data mining, everything else is weird roundabout ways of people trying to connect. And this film kind of cuts to the core of that. That is irreplaceable. That is a wealth, that is a fortune that is irreplaceable.
Yeah. So, Sanjeet, your biggest learning from Shruti, apart from mouthwash, and your biggest learning from your director, from Nag. We're going to sign off with that.
Yeah. With Nag, I think I've always been this guy who overthinks every single thing
Yes.
I see and I hear, and I just see this guy, and there's like the first and second day, it was chaos on the set. And I just see Nag sitting in one corner. And I'm like, bro, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, we're good. And I think like that second day, I'm like, shit, this guy, everything is like, it's not in order, but he's okay. And he's like, I will put everything into perspective because I know my shit. And I think I just learned that being calm in a very different way works. And with Shruti, it's just everything. Shruti is, the entire personality is, it's like the first day I met her, I've been like so inspired by everything she says and just who she is as a person. I think it's damn cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I always say it's very easy to fall in love with Shruti Hassan.
With Janani for sure.
And I'm sure everybody.
No, only Janani.
For me, first Janani. First love will be Janani, then Shruti Hassan.
Listen, guys, thank you for talking to me. Great film. I mean, I just thoroughly enjoyed every second.
so much.
And well, yeah, you guys should collaborate more, man. You guys make good stuff. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Shruti.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Nag.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.